From the Tennessee Valley Weather Channel, this is your weather tonight.
We had some showers and thunderstorms from the evening that have moved out of the area, but there's the possibility of a few more moving in after midnight through the morning hours here. Not expecting those to be severe, but you may hear a little bit of thunder overnight. Morning lows in the upper 60s, lower 70s, and there will be off and on chances for scattered showers and thunderstorms as we head through our Thursday and then on through Friday, Saturday, Sunday before they taper off in early next week. Here's the Futurecast using the HERB model because it's been closest to reality. However, I caution that it hasn't been perfect. So when you look at this for the next 24 hours worth of data, don't try to match up and think the radar is going to look exactly to the letter like how the model shows for a very specific time period, because it hasn't been perfect. And honestly, this is just us having a visual aid. We have other methods that we use for doing short-term forecasts that when the models kind of misbehave like they have with these thunderstorm complexes, we still have confidence in the forecast, even if we have low confidence in the Futurecast we show looking exactly like that on radar as we get to the time. So I'm going to show some showers and thunderstorms moving in after midnight, and I do think there may be some there. Radar may not look exactly specifically like this, but the overall idea of some showers and thunderstorms moving in after midnight, but just like with the afternoon round, these weakening as they do move in during the early morning. Not expecting these to be severe, but some moderate downpours, maybe a few rumbles of thunder possible. Then as we head closer to the late morning and midday, some scattered showers and thunderstorms redeveloping across the area. They could be on the Tennessee side, the North Alabama side, or both sides of the state line. A couple of these may have the potential to be marginally strong to severe. Main risk would be gusty winds and some small hail, and just rounds of scattered activity like that in the afternoon and the evening hours, with more showers and thunderstorms overnight tomorrow night. Now, once we lose the daytime heating tomorrow night, I think the severe weather threat goes down overnight. It's mainly that afternoon, early evening period where we may have a stray severe thunderstorm warning or two, but they're going to be off and on rounds of showers and thunderstorms during the daytime periods and the nighttime periods from our Thursday right on through Sunday, if not Monday. We're getting into an active weather pattern here, and at any time, Thursday, Friday, or Saturday, one or two of these storms could be briefly strong or severe. It's a low risk. Main threats would be gusty winds, small hail. Tornado threat, anytime there's a severe storm on the board, tornado threat's never completely zero. But for these 3 days here, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, tornado threat will be as close to zero as you can get. Sunday, we have our eye on this. There's a more organized storm system coming out, more dynamic storm system. It looks more like a storm system you would have come out in March or April versus the end of May. So there's more wind dynamic energy working with this, in addition to all the instability that we have. So this is more of an elevated severe risk. We'll be talking about that in detail here in just a moment. For Thursday, that low end spotty strong storm threat in the afternoon, there is a level 1 out of 5 risk of severe storms, the lowest risk they issue for a large part of our area. Notice there's a level 2 risk back off to the west, and that's going to be the main theme here for Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. Even though we may see a strong storm or two locally, the higher severe risk those 3 days will be off to our west, but that big storm system comes out Sunday. There will be off and on rounds of showers and thunderstorms here through your Memorial Day weekend. I hate to be the bearer of bad news, but I'm just a messenger here. This is not going to be one of those weekends where you can just willy-nilly and have outdoor plans and completely ignore the weather. Hate to tell you that, because there will be showers and thunderstorms coming through off and on at times. You don't have to completely cancel your outdoor plans because there will be some periods of dry weather, but it's going to be a situation where you have to have alternate plans you can carry out indoors, and you're going to have to pay attention to weather information. Keep a check on the radar. Keep a check on forecast information. You can't unplug this weekend because there will be multiple rounds of storms. And on Sunday, especially into Sunday night, we're going to have to watch for the threat of some of those being severe. We'll have a stalled frontal boundary to our north, multiple impulses right along that from tomorrow on through Saturday night, Sunday morning. So during that period, it won't rain nonstop, but off and on periods in the daytime hours and the nighttime hours where there will be rounds of showers and thunderstorms. Then as we get into Sunday, this is when a stronger low pressure system moves through Missouri into Illinois, brings a cold front closer to the area Sunday night. That sets up a more dynamic severe weather setup across a large part of the Ohio Valley, Tennessee Valley, lower to mid-Mississippi Valley already. And this was actually issued yesterday, 6 days ahead of time. There's what is the equivalent of a level 2 out of 5 risk of severe storms here in yellow for all of our viewing area for Sunday into Sunday night. Already 5 days in advance, they have the equivalent of an elevated level 3 out of 5 risk of severe storms as close to us as just northwest of the viewing area in western and northern Tennessee. I do think as we get closer to this and we get more confidence in how the details play out, there's a very real threat this more elevated type risk may expand into at least some portion of our specific viewing area, especially across southern Middle Tennessee. I cannot rule out that upgrade happening over northwest Alabama either. That would happen in future outlooks over the next couple days. We'll be fine-tuning those details as we go along. Because we're still several days out, there's a lot that's still unclear. It's kind of like when you're driving down the interstate and you see some road signs off in the distance. You can't read them because they're so far away, but you can see enough that you know there are some road signs coming up. As you get closer, you get a little more detail. You can tell if it's an information sign, a speed limit sign, that kind of thing. And then once you get even closer and you can read the text, then you can see the details of what the road sign says. It's the same situation here. Farther out we are, the less detail we have, but we can get a general idea of things. Once we get closer, we start working out the details of the situation. The basic timing for our area for the severe threat Sunday is the afternoon hours into the overnight. It is an area-wide severe storm risk. So what about my town? What about my county? Those questions, they're not important. The answer to them is not important because everybody in our area is included in the severe storm threat. The exact magnitude, how serious that threat will be, is still up in the air. It's unclear because we're too far out for those specific details yet. We usually see those 2 or 3 days in advance at earliest, but we'll be working those out as we go through the rest of the week. However, early indications on the large scale suggest that this may actually be a substantial type threat. We don't see more elevated severe threats during the late spring that often, but it's not unheard of, and we have had them before. Our spring tornado season here actually runs through the end of May, and this is not unheard of. It's just a little later in the season, but this does happen sometimes. All threat types will be on the board. That means damaging straight line winds will be possible. Large hail will be possible. There may eventually even be a flash flooding threat as well as multiple rounds of rain add up the next few days. We'll work out those details too. There will also be some degree of a tornado threat. Still too far out to know the specific details of the magnitude of that tornado threat, but there's enough wind shear in the atmosphere combined with what may be more of a cellular storm mode versus a solid line, and then the instability involved to where tornadoes of some degree may be involved here. So we'll be watching carefully. Don't panic. Don't be overly anxious about this. We are very cognizant of the fact that we have a lot of storm anxiety around here, not just because the Tennessee Valley is known for severe storms overall, but it wasn't but a couple weeks ago we had a tornado outbreak across southern Tennessee and North Alabama. People had damage here. People were affected. There was actually a fatality in Murray County, Tennessee. People are aware of that, and that causes anxiety. I will say right now, do your best to take a calm breath if you're anxious about this. Try to calm yourself. Realize that as long as you have a safety plan in place ahead of time, as long as you have multiple reliable ways of hearing watches and warnings, and as long as you actually pay attention to information as we get closer and you act on your plan, if a warning is issued, we'll all be just fine. Take that deep breath, go through your plan the next couple days, make sure you're ready, and we'll get through it fine. And we will be here Sunday to track the storms as necessary, as we always are during any severe storm threat. In the 80s until this storm passes, and then it brings a cool front into the area as we head later into Monday that actually drops daytime highs a few degrees going to the middle of the week, next week into the upper 70s. Some drier air gets overnight lows toward next Tuesday and Wednesday mornings into the upper 50s to the lower 60s. So a little bit of heat relief there. Chance of additional scattered showers and thunderstorms after midnight. Most likely, they will be weakening as they move in, so we don't expect any additional severe storms tonight. Overnight lows in the upper 60s, lower 70s. And then Thursday, Friday, and Saturday, off and on chances of showers and thunderstorms likely. One or two of the storms at any point in here could be strong with gusty winds, small hail. It's Sunday into Sunday night where the severe storm threat may be a bit more elevated for at least parts of the area, if not all of the area. We'll be working out those details in the days ahead. Maybe a few lingering thunder showers into Monday as the cool front moves through. A spotty shower possible Tuesday, but drier weather toward the middle of next week. There's what's your latest 7-day forecast. Ben Lunas in a Weather Center tomorrow morning at 4 a.m. with your Wake Up Weather forecast.